For your decades project, one of the things you have to do is you have to put everything into a Google site. And I don't know how familiar you are with Google Sites, but I'm going to show you how to set one up right now, the basics of doing it. And so where you should start is just at the Spirit Like website, because you guys are going to be doing this collaboratively, so everyone needs to use the same site. So when you go to the Spirit Lake website, now you can sign in with your Spirit Lake account and you don't have to make one through Google. This will be a lot easier to share with each other and with us teachers. So when you're at the Spirit Lake site, you want to come up here to the URL and you want to take out www. So you delete the www and you replace it with docs, D-O-C-S. So it's docs.spirit-lake.k12.ia.us. And that will take you to the login screen. And it looks a little different than the normal Google login screen because it's through Spirit Lake. So I'm going to sign in with mine, and I'll use the same sign in that I would with all my Spirit Lake stuff. And then it will take me to the Google Docs page. This is where I have all my different docs, but we are making a site. So we're under Documents, so you want to go click on the Sites tab at the top. You can see I already have some sites made. You're going to hit this Create button to get started. And this is how we're going to make our site. And we're only going to make one per group, but this will show you how to do that. To name my site, since I'm doing it by myself, I'm just going to name it Frederick 1990. Because let's say I'm doing the 90s for my decade. Okay, I would suggest at the beginning you leave a basic theme. Because sometimes the themes, you could take 20 minutes trying to pick out the right one. I would start with the blank template, and then if you have time you can go back and change it. It's not going to do anything to any of your stuff, but it's just going to waste a lot of your class time trying to pick one out. So I'm going to stick with the blank one, and I'm going to hit Create. If you want to go out and find one, I would think that would be cool, but just do it on your own. Alright, so now I have my basic site, and this is the home page for it. And so far I only have one page. Okay, and Google Sites is pretty easy to use. Okay, in this decades project you have to do things like make a timeline, which I'll show you how to do that. You need to make a biography, and you need to make a glog for your biography, and you also need to make a Quizlet and some other things that you'll link into this Google. So we're going to have more pages than the home page. There's only a couple buttons on this site that you'll have to use. One of them is the edit button, and that's the little pencil because you're going to edit your page. And then there's a new page that has a little page with a plus in it. Okay, those are basically the two you're going to use. So to start, one of the first things you're going to have to make is a timeline page. So we're going to click New Page. I'm going to name it Timeline. Alright, and we're going to put the page at the top level. If you put it under the home screen, then it's going to be like underneath the home. You just want it on the top level, and then you hit Create. Now you have your timeline page, and it automatically allows you to edit that. And it has all the features like you'd have on Pages or Doc, and you hit Save. And here's your timeline page. If you want to go back in and edit it, you're just going to click on this little pencil, and it'll take you back to the editing. So that's the page. The next page you're going to have to make is a biography. So if we click on another new page, and in biography, you're going to create, and then you can all have your biography here. Now, one of the things that people get messed up with is you get mad when the timeline goes underneath biography, alright, because it's automatically going to put them in alphabetical order. So if you want to change that, one thing you need to do is you need to click on Edit Sidebar. When you get to Sidebar, you're going to click Navigation. Automatically organize my navigation. That's what it's doing right now. It's automatically organizing it into alphabetical order. You want to uncheck that, and then it gives you the options to move them. So if we want our timeline page to remain at the top, we just select it, click the up arrow, and it goes ahead of biography. If you want timeline above home, what you don't, you'll click up, and you can just mess with them. But to keep it in order, that is how you do it. Alright. So if you need to go back and rewatch that part again, sometimes it takes a little while. But that is how you change your navigation bar. And then you can just go back to your site and you can see that it's now in order. And that's kind of the basics of setting up a Google site. Now that you've made your Google site, I'm going to show you how to make a time toast. A time toast is basically an online timeline, and this is what you're going to use for your timeline for this project. A couple reasons we're going to use it: it's more exciting than just one that's on paper, and it also will allow you to embed it into your Google site so everything is in order. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up here and you're going to type in www.timetoast.com. timetoast.com, and it'll take you to this website. Okay, you can see that I already have an account. Some of you will have one, a lot of you might not have one. And making a Time Toast account is pretty easy. You just need to click sign up, and it's just like any website. You make a username, enter your email and password, agree to the terms, and then you can start making a timeline. So like I said, I already have one, so I'm just going to sign in. And when you finally get in, they'll probably have to send you a verification code. So if you haven't made one yet, I would suggest you make one right away, so that if it takes 30 minutes or so to get you a verification in your email, then we can wait. But once you finally get in and you're logged in, you're going to come up here and click on your timelines. Obviously, if you just made a timeline, you're not going to have one yet. But if you have made some, this is where you would go to look at them. You're going to click add a new timeline, and it's going to take you to this screen. So like I made my Google site, we're just going to go 1990s. Category, doesn't really matter what you pick at all. I'll just click history since this is American history class. And if you want to choose an image, it will take you to this screen, and this is where you choose from your bank of images. So I've done a couple different timelines. Like I did one for my J-term National History Day. So if you want a picture, you need to click upload an image. You can choose one from your computer, so if you have one saved to your desktop, I'll just choose one that I already have, and I'm going to click done, and then go to start your timeline. So here's your timeline, and to add an event, we're just going to say, for a title for this event, we'll go the date, we'll go the 8th of January. And we'll go right before the 1990s. We'll go 1989. We'll go Mr. Frederick's birth. If I wanted to put a picture of myself, I could choose an image and I could select one. And then I'm going to put a description here. This is what I'm going to talk about the day I was born. Then I'm going to hit create event, and our event will pop up on our timeline, Mr. Frederick's birth. Okay, so then I can take a bar, make it as small or as big as I want, and I can scroll through my timeline. Since I only have one date, this is all I have right now. If I wanted to add another event, you could just click plus, give it a title, give it a date, description. You can insert a link if you want, choose an image, and then hit create event again. Okay, so now what you need to do is if I click back on my timelines, see now I have my 1990s timeline. In order for you to put this timeline that you just made into your Google site, you need to publish it. Okay, if you want to edit it, you can edit it, but when you click publish, now it's under your public timelines and not under a draft. We don't want a draft. Okay, so then I can click view my new public 1990s timeline, even though it only has one thing, so it probably wouldn't be that good. But to put it on your Google site, this is where it seems like it gets confusing, but it's actually a really simple process. Okay, it gives you these places where you can share it. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, or then embed/share. You want to click on embed/share. Okay, and it's going to give you this embed code. So it's really long and it's just got a bunch of random numbers and letters. You want to copy that whole embed code. Okay, so once you've copied that embed code for your timeline, you're going to go back to your Google site. So this is the site that I made. I'm going to click on timeline, and then I'm going to come up and I'm going to click on new page. No, sorry, you're not going to click on new page because we already have a timeline page. You're going to click on edit page. So then your edit bar comes up. Okay, and if we look, we have the embed code, and an embed code is so you can change the HTML source. So if we look up here at our toolbars, okay, normally if you just copied and pasted that in there and saved it, it will just come up as you copied and pasted it with just a bunch of letters and numbers. But we don't want that. Okay, we want to put this code into the HTML. So let's delete that. Click on the HTML edit source code. Okay, Now is where you're going to copy and paste the code. Click update. It won't look like the timeline in the edit page, and that's okay. It will just say Google Gadget, and that's fine. Then you're going to hit save, and your timeline will come up on your Google site. Okay, this is the exact same timeline I had in the past. All right, so now if I ever wanted to, I could come back to this page. Okay, I could go up to my timelines. Okay, I could edit this one even though I've already published it. I could still go back and edit it. You're just gonna have to make it public again. All right, and I could start changing it. And if I change it on this website, it will automatically change on here. I don't have to go back and do everything over again. It's just gonna save. And so don't worry about doing this 100 times. If you embed it once, it will change every time you change it on the website. So that's how you're going to do your timeline for this project. One of the next things I'm going to talk to you about is how to make a glog. And I don't know if you know what a glog is, but really it's a visual for anything you want to do online. You're going to make a glog for your biography. Everybody needs to make a biography for this project over one important person from your decade. It needs to be typed, double-spaced, 500 words, and you need to use 2 sources cited APA style. With your biography, you need to make a glog. And like I said, this is a visual. And so to make a glog, the first thing I would do is go to Google and type in Glogster, because that's the website you're going to make them on. Alright, and it's going to be one of the first things that pops up. There is a Glogster edu for education purposes, but in order to do that, we need to make a teacher code, and you need to sign in under us, and it just takes a lot more time. So for this project, I'm just going to have you use glogster.com. Okay, it's like an online poster. If you don't have an account, you're going to pick a nickname, enter your email, and a password, and hit create account. Alright, if you do already have one, you can just log in. Like I already have one. It seems like I have an account for everything. Alright, and you're going to do create a new glog. And I could spend a lot of time on here trying to tell you how to use Glogster, but there are links on here that help you with making one. Okay, so you can explore to other glogs. You can go, what is Glogster, exploring it, frequently asked questions. Alright, if you need to know how to use it. Okay, like I said, it could take a long time trying to show you how to use it, but there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. So you're going to hit create a new glog, alright, to get started, and then you just work through it. If you already have some made, you can go to my Glogster. Alright, and like here's a glog that I have. It says I have 3 of them. This one I haven't even worked on for a long time. It says last updated 19 hours ago, but I don't even remember being on it 19 hours ago. Alright, and when this loads, I can start taking it and putting it into our Google site, because that's the requirement with everything, putting on Google sites. Alright, so this is one that I've made. I'm going to go to my dashboard, because that will show me all the ones I've made. Okay, it says I got an unfinished glog right here. That's the one we were just looking at. Okay, so I'm going to open it up here, and again, just with Toast, we're going to want to embed this glog into our Google site. So I'm going to click embed this glog. Then it's going to give me the different sizes I can choose. I can choose full sized, a blog sized, or a feed size. I'm going to check the full size one. So if I just click copy, it's automatically going to copy it for me, or I can copy the whole link myself. I'm going to go back to my Google site. Now that you have your glog embed code copied, we're going to put it into a page on our Google Sites. Alright, and if you forgot how to create a page, you go to that little new page button. You click on it, you're going to name it glog, and you're going to hit create. Now if you're following along earlier, we changed our sidebar so that it wouldn't show, or like it wouldn't go alphabetical order. Alright, and so I created this glog page, but you can look, it's not on my sidebar right now because we're doing it manually. So you need to click edit sidebar again. Okay, you want to edit your navigation. Okay, look, it's not under there. You can take these and move them around, but we want our glog. To get your glog, you just click add page, glog, because we already made that page, okay, and then hit OK again, and then it'll be there. So I'll hit save, go back to my website, and you can see the glog is there. Alright, now here's the thing, there's going to be groups of like 4 or 5 or 6 for this project, and each person needs to have their own glog. So if I was you, what I would do is I would click to add another page. Okay, so if me and Cooker were in a group together, I would say Frederick glog. I would put the page under glog, okay, because this is a page within a page. So this is Frederick glog, and I'm going to hit create. And then I'll wait for that to come up, I'll hit save. And then Cooker's going to want a page, so I'm going to name it Cooker glog. Put page under, we'll just put it at the top level because we can move them. I'll hit create. Go back to my edit sidebar because we want these pages on our sidebar so people can click on them if they edit or they go to this page. Edit navigation, add a page. I'm going to put Frederick glog in there. So okay. I'm going to add a page, Cooker glog. Okay. Now Cooker's glog I want under mine. So if we go back to Frederick 1990, we want to save it first. Save everything first. Then go back to Frederick 1990. Then they're both right there. Okay. I have my Frederick glog and I have Cooker glog. Okay, so if I want to embed my glog into my page, I'm going to hit the pencil, HTML. I've already got my glog HTML saved. I'm going to hit update. Remember, it's going to look different at first. I'm going to click save. And after a while, it will pop up. Sometimes the glogs take to load, but then you can see that it is now updated on my Google site. So if someone wanted to come look, they could click the glog page, then they could click glog, and my glog will be there. The last thing I'm going to show you is the Quizlet, and I'm sure if you've been in one of our classes, you've used Quizlet before, but you might not have made them before. So you will need to have a Quizlet on your Google site to have the other classmates study for your quiz. So you're just going to go to Google, you're going to type in Quizlet. It's going to be the first one that pops up. You might need to set up an account, just like with everything. It's not very hard. You just click on create an account and you can work through it. Alright, and then you click make flashcards. You enter your title of your flashcard, so mine would be 1990 for the Moodle quiz. Okay, and then you'll type, you got to choose English for both your terms and your definitions, and then here you'll type in the term, so famous basketball player, and put Jordan, and then you could just go through all of them, and then you're going to hit create set. Okay, all your sets will be in your dashboard, so I have a bunch of sets that I've made before. So if I go to my World War II set, this is what we use for our World War II test. I can click on link or embed, just like we've done with everything, and I'm going to copy the flashcards embed mode. Alright, so I would click that, I would copy it, then you're going to go back to your Google site, you're going to make your Quizlet page, and you're going to paste your flashcard HTML code into your new Quizlet page.